Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is by far my favorite movie of all time. It has everything that's ever appealed to me personally, from childhood to adulthood. 3D animation, 2D animation, innovative animation, superheroes, a cool collection of colorful characters, all in a super tightly written script. So does its sequel, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, take its place as my number one? Well, let's discuss. We all know the story, but let's go ahead and do this one last time. Miles Morales was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for the last year and a half or so, he's been the one and only Spider-Man. At least in his universe, because there's a whole multiverse out there full of a huge variety of other spider people just like him, the Spider-Verse. And after an encounter with a mysterious new villain known as the Spot, Miles must work with this spider society to stop him, but discovers that maybe not everyone is on his side. Without giving away too much, let's just say there's a metaphor at the start about having his cake and eating it too that means a lot more than you think. Strangely, I'm having a difficult time finding much to say about this film, because what can I say that everyone else hasn't already said? It's spectacular, it's amazing, because yeah, it has all that same stuff I said about the first film, but bigger and better. The innovative 3D as 2D animation is back and even more incredibly impressive than last time. Every frame is a work of art that just blows me away. The collection of spider people is huge this time, and the new characters have such great and memorable personalities. Plus, there are some really cool and exciting cameos from other Spider-Man media. But fortunately, they don't intrude on the story. And it is a cool story. Just like all the best sequels, it takes what worked so well about the first and goes somewhere fresh and new with it, but that also feels like a perfectly natural continuation. Plus, there are a lot of payoffs to tiny little details set up in the first film that make it apparent they had a ton of this in mind from the very beginning. For instance, our new villain, the Spot, has connections to the first film that make perfect sense, and even one detail that is so stupid but so funny and great I won't give it away. And he slides so seamlessly into the story of this film, and establishes himself as a good, funny villain who starts out hilariously pathetic, but quickly becomes a super scary threat. On the other hand, our other antagonist, Spider-Man 2099, isn't exactly a villain. I mean, he's a fellow Spider-Man after all, but he is a perfect foil for Miles, as he forces him into one of my favorite conflicts for a hero, choosing between letting something bad happen for the benefit of the greater good, or refusing that, because a real hero, despite being told that saving literally everyone is impossible, still has to try. And isn't it cool that 2 Spider-Man movies in a row use this formula, and both feature it in the trailer?
I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
I can do both! Spider-Man, always!
Not always.
Can't stop me now!
So does this outdo the original as my favorite? As of right now, I don't think I can say that it does. Because another one of my favorite things to see in a movie is good setup and payoff. And I think the first film is much more satisfying in this regard. Across the Spider-Verse has some good payoff. Heck, it's got some great payoff. But it's much heavier on setup. Because this just isn't a complete story. It's so clearly a part 1 like it was originally titled. My brother has even pointed out that you could argue it doesn't even have a third act at all. And while I don't entirely disagree with him, I do think it builds up to a solid enough ending to still be satisfying. And even if you do still see it as a problem, I don't think it outweighs the positives here, like the great character work and the sheer amount of artistry throughout the whole picture. They still make this one of the best films of the year. So I guess it's more a matter of whether the first film will hold up against this film added together with Beyond the Spider-Verse, which I'm now beyond excited to see. Well, those are just my thoughts after watching this movie. What'd y'all think? Agree? Disagree? Think I'm stupid? Let me know in the comments. And let me know what you thought of this film. As for me, I say Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. More like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Gas, obviously. Also, just a quick announcement. This will be my last movie review here on YouTube for a while. As much fun as I had making them, they're a very time-consuming process, and I'm going to be real, they haven't been getting the views to justify it. So I've decided that I should probably put more time toward other projects that I've been working on. The shorter versions of these have been doing pretty well over on my TikTok, which I'll link below, so I'll still post some short reviews there and possibly here on YouTube as well. So you'll still be able to hear my thoughts on all the latest movies, but it'll just stay under 3 minutes. If it works out right in the future, I may post a few more longer ones here again, every now and then. But for now, thank you guys for watching.